Hey girlies, just a quick reminder before we dive into today's episode. The information shared on this podcast is intended to be general sports nutrition advice and education related to period recovery for female athletes. This is not specific to any one individual, and it may or may not apply to your situation. If you are looking for personalized guidance, be sure to apply to our RBSN Period Recovery Nutrition Coaching Program. Our 4-month period recovery program is designed to help you sustainably get your period back and keep it. You can apply now to get started in our program, and we'll leave the link for the program below. This is the Eat More Carbs Podcast. Hello and welcome back. This is the Eat More Carbs Podcast. We're Reilly, Beatty Sports Nutrition, and we're a team of dietitians, and we talk every Thursday about sports nutrition for the girlies. I'm Jenna, and I'm the host of this podcast.
And I'm Reilly. I'm the founder of Reilly, Beatty Sports Nutrition. We like to call it around here RBSN.
Happy Thanksgiving. We're super excited to talk with y'all today. Before we get into today's episode, we are going to do our high and low, so sharing just a little bit about our week, the good, and the parts we wish had gone a little bit differently. Reilly, as always, can you kick us off with high and low? What is your Thanksgiving high and low for the week?
So high is my daughter, Charlie, is going to be 2 in January. So this is her second Thanksgiving. And Charlie loves meat, is a meat girly. She loves to also cook right now. So we started off by doing things like we call it cups. And I let her do her own little science experiment. So she'll sit next to me when I'm cooking and she'll put things like Cheerios into different cups. But she's started to really be into cooking. And so she always wants to be involved, which it does take 5 times the amount of time, but it's so cute because she's stirring things with her big stick, but she kind of just hits it, but she's involved in the cooking process. I don't know. It's just a really cute and wonderful thing to share with her.
Does she have one of those helper stools where she can be countertop height?
Okay, we have debated this multiple times. Right now we're just using a chair, and people are probably going to come for me because they say it's dangerous, but she stands on a chair. Just because the problem with things right now is I'm really reluctant to buy things because we're going so fast with our development and what we're interested in. So I don't want to purchase something and then her be done with it in 2 weeks.
I mean, that makes total sense. I feel the same way with clothes. You don't want to go and buy certain brands will put out baby clothes and baby shoes. I'm I can't imagine spending more on a pair of baby shoes than I spend on a pair of shoes for myself. And they're going to wear them for such a short amount of time.
Yes, this could even be my low, but we have transitioned Charlie out of her first real kind of shoes. She didn't really need shoes when she didn't walk, right? I know people put shoes on their baby, but your baby doesn't need shoes if it's not walking, right? So we're kind of through our second iteration of shoes because she's grown out of her first real walking shoes. But the problem is she loves them. So she goes into her closet and gets out her little Crocs that are too small and puts them on opposite feet and is walking around. And I'm girlie, we got you new Crocs. But she's these are not my Crocs. These are my Crocs.
Wait, that's so cute though.
I'll have to send you a picture next time she does it. I guess that's kind of my low too, is it's not really a low. And I guess nothing about Charlie is really a low, but she cracks me up right now because she's has such a strong personality. She just learned mine. So she'll be going around and we're at the grocery store and she'll point at me and be my mom. I'm yes,
yep,
I am your mom. Good job. Or she'll be my bagel. I'm we can't have that bagel. That's not our bagel. And she'll be my bagel or my slide. And I'm yes, I'm proud of you for using your words. But then sometimes she just walks around being mine, 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 mine. And all I can think about is the Finding Nemo, seagulls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're going through right now at the Beatty household.
Lots of Charlie updates.
Lots of Charlie updates. How's your week going?
Great. My high is that it is Thanksgiving. This is the Thursday that is Thanksgiving, and I love Thanksgiving. I think one of the reasons is just because I have so many wonderful childhood memories of Thanksgiving growing up with my cousins and my family, getting to spend time together. And it's so fun. And even though I'm not at that stage of life anymore and we're here in Arizona for Thanksgiving, we're not with a bunch of family, it still reminds me of all of those wonderful memories that I have growing up of Thanksgiving. And I look forward to carrying those forward someday.
So are you staying in Arizona then for the holiday?
Yes, we are in Arizona for Thanksgiving, which has its pros because we can be outside and it's a beautiful time of year in Arizona. It's the time of year that people want to be in Arizona. So that's the good part. It's just always kind of sad when you don't get to spend it with a huge amount of family. And that's one of the biggest things that my family did growing up is that we play a big game of family football. And I would call it tag football, but it always progressed into more than just tag football, if you know what I mean. And it got a little bit competitive, but it was always so much fun. So I miss those memories memories, but I'm also like excited to make new memories.
Are y'all doing a turkey trot?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked this because I have seen a lot of like the run clubs in Arizona have teamed up together to do like a massive turkey trot on Thanksgiving. Obviously, we're recording this a few days before actual Thanksgiving, and I don't know if I want to do that because it just seems like a lot. I don't know if I want to do that. I was walking through my neighborhood, I was walking my dog George. There is a neighbor of ours that's like hosting a turkey trot for the neighborhood. And I thought that was so cute to just like a good way to like get to know neighbors and just like do something really, really casual for Thanksgiving. That's not so much of like an organized event with t-shirts and bibs and all of that, but just like a nice thing to do. So I think we might do that.
I can't wait until you smoke everybody.
Obviously, I'm going to show up and be like, okay, well, the competitive part of me has turned on. Meanwhile, my husband will be making friends with everybody and I'll be like, I won. And they'll be like, this isn't even like an actual 5K course. It's literally around the block, but that's okay.
Actually really like a lot of the local races. Like that's what I was doing a lot of like in preparation for New York. And I just like a local race, I think.
I think they're fun.
I think so too. And like it's like less pressure and like everybody's in a good mood and like everybody is like local and volunteering and like there's never a bathroom line and it's just great.
Yep. And they're usually going to start at like a nice time because you don't have to worry about like a ton of people and like logistics and all of that sort of stuff.
Yep. You don't have to take a ferry to Staten Island and then wait for 3 hours, basically camping. Yep. I'm into it.
Yeah. Slightly different from the marathon you just ran.
Yep. What's your low?
My low is probably that it's not the same that it used to be for Thanksgiving for me right now. And that's just hard sometimes when it's just different. And holidays, obviously, as we like grow and we age, man, that's like what I've been talking about so many times on my high and low recently. But as we age, like traditions just change. And, you know, like all of my cousins that I used to play family football with are all like parents and adults now and probably doing all of the cooking anyway. So even if we were together with like a huge chunk of my family, it probably still would look different. But sometimes it is like nostalgic and a little sad to like look back on like the things that used to be.
So are you going to cook this year?
Okay, as of this moment, I haven't decided. A lot of times recently, what I've done is I've done like the like kind of prepared pickup from Whole Foods, but I also really don't love turkey. So today on today's episode, we're kind of building our own performance plates and wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving. But I'm going to share my tentative plan for how I'm going to do Thanksgiving my way.
Ooh, okay, you got to go first because I'm so curious now. Tell us.
Okay, I don't love turkey.
Okay, do you not love like turkey? Like, is it turkey in general, like a turkey breast sandwich or just like a turkey dinner?
I just don't think I like turkey. Like, I was even thinking about how I make a lot of dishes with ground turkey. And I was like, I think I would like this better if I made it with like ground chicken or ground beef. Like, I just don't like turkey. And I think that like I developed using turkey a lot through a period in my life when I wanted to be like quote unquote like ultra healthy, and lean ground turkey is something that's used a lot kind of in that realm or in that conversation of being really thoughtful with what you're eating. And I started to think about it and I was like, I don't know that I actually like this. I think it's just something that I've always done because of that. And I was like, there is nothing that says like when I'm cooking for myself and my husband on Thanksgiving that I need to cook a turkey. I don't need to do that, especially if neither of us are like huge turkey fans. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a rotisserie chicken.
I love this
because I'm like, we both like chicken and I don't have to cook it. And I can focus my time on making the sides, which I love the side dishes. And I love homemade side dishes for Thanksgiving. And then I don't have to worry about making something that neither of us really love, or even like, you know, getting the pre-marinated one and putting it in my oven even from Whole Foods. I can just get something that like we both are fine with. I can make chicken leftovers with it. And I can focus all of my energy and attention on making the sides that like we do enjoy and we do want to like have as part of our Thanksgiving. So I'm going to get a rotisserie chicken.
I'm obsessed with this. Okay, what sides are we doing then?
Okay, I love like some type of like green bean or broccoli casserole, but this year I'm leaning towards broccoli casserole just because I've been into broccoli recently. So I'm going to do a broccoli casserole. It's actually one that my brother-in-law makes and I think it's like delicious. So I'm going to use his recipe and make that. I also am going to make a cranberry salad. It's my mom's recipe and it's actually one that we stole from one of my sister's high school boyfriend's families. But we kind of like adopted it and have made it our own. And it's like it's a sweeter cranberry salad salad type of side. And then I'll probably make some type of like colorful side with like baked carrots or something like that to just have some more color, since my casserole with broccoli won't be a ton of actual color in that dish. I love mashed potatoes, so I'm going to do mashed potatoes as my final side. And then my husband really loves sweet potatoes, and I am not the biggest fan of sweet potato, but his goal this year is to make sweet potato pie. So I'm going to let him handle that because I don't really care how that turns out. I'm probably not going to eat it anyway, but I'm going to make a dessert that like I want to eat. So I'm going to make chocolate chip cookies because I love chocolate chip cookies. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing everything that like I want to eat.
That's how it's supposed to be. Isn't it crazy? I think I remembered like when I don't know, was 25 and I was like, I can literally eat Thanksgiving whenever I want. If I don't like something for Thanksgiving, like I don't have to make it.
Exactly. You can do chicken if you want to. You can do a totally different type of protein if you want to. So if we're looking at my performance plate that I will have on Thanksgiving, I will do chicken, I will do broccoli casserole, I will do some type of a roasted carrot, and then I will do mashed potatoes for my carbohydrate. And then for my fun foods on the side, because we love a fun food and that is always going to be incorporated for me, is chocolate chip cookies.
I'm laughing because this is going to be the most anti-Thanksgiving podcast ever because I don't think I'm having turkey either.
Wait, I love it. What are you doing?
You're not doing pie or anything, or you're just doing cookies?
Well, Nolan will do his sweet potato pie.
Oh,
So
that's
he
right.
gets that. And I'm probably not going to have any of the sweet potato pie just because I'm not that big of a fan. And like we've talked about so many times on this podcast, life is too freaking short to eat food that you don't love. And I love chocolate chip cookies. I also can make like a big batch of them and share them with neighbors, have my husband bring them to work for like the week of Thanksgiving because both he and I will still be working. So I don't know. I feel like that's a nice thing to do. And then I can also freeze any of them that I don't eat fast enough. So I can like have them for a little bit longer if I make a big enough batch, which I will make sure I make a big enough batch. But now I've gone back to talking about myself so much. So what protein are you doing for Thanksgiving this year?
We're doing brisket.
Wait, I love that.
Yeah, it's something that we started doing like a couple years ago. There's a really great barbecue restaurant in Charleston. It is one of the things I am sad that we don't live in Charleston about anymore, but this is a much better place for us. This guy named, it's a Lewis barbecue, and it's really well known for its brisket. So what we started doing a couple of years ago is we do brisket and turkey, but it's so funny because the turkey never gets ate because the brisket is so good. So this year we're just nixing the turkey and we're going to do a brisket, and we actually are going to Charlotte for Thanksgiving. So we're going to be with Robbie's family. And I actually really like turkey. Like I'm a traditional, give me the stuffing, the gravy, the cranberry sauce, like turkey person. But like I shared earlier, like I'll just eat that whenever I want to eat it, like for dinner. And so we're doing the brisket for Thanksgiving. So that's going to be my protein on my performance plate for Thanksgiving.
What sides are you guys bringing? What are you responsible for?
Bringing my daughter.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
There we go.
She is the star of the show, so we anticipated that. But what sides, I guess, are available to you? What else are you putting on your performance plate for color and carbs and maybe even fun foods?
So I don't know exactly the menu yet. And because we are recording this a couple days in advance, I don't know what I'm responsible for bringing right now. We will usually probably like bring drinks or a dessert, but Robbie's mom does a really great job for Thanksgiving. So kind of just like being her sous chef while we're there and let her kind of dictate the menu. We usually do, traditional kind of Thanksgiving foods. So like stuffing, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, hoping for a green bean casserole because I love a green bean casserole. And I feel like with like casseroles, like that's not something I make like on a regular basis. I feel like it just makes a large amount. And so kind of like what you shared about with like some of the desserts, like we're just not going to eat that casserole. Like we just can't get through that as a family in the amount of time that we need. So a green bean casserole, or I'm sure there's going to be some broccoli or Brussels sprouts or things like that. And then Charlie loves mac and cheese. So I'm sure there's going to be some mac and cheese.
Oh my gosh. I love the idea of mac and cheese on Thanksgiving.
Yes. So I'm a huge stuffing girl. I like love stuffing. So I'm going to have stuffing as my carb. I'll probably do mac and cheese as my carb too. I'm not a potato person. Like I'll eat them and like we have them, once or twice a week. But when there's a lot of different carbohydrate options, like I'm not usually going towards a potato. And my husband is a potato guy. So I know he's always upset about that, but I'm just like not really a potato person.
Do you have a specific type of potato that like you like more? Like if you were to be like a baked sweet potato, or is it just kind of like all potatoes that you're kind of like meh on?
All potatoes, like me. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what, like, I just would much rather eat like pasta or bread or risotto or a tortilla or something like that. I'm just like not really a potato person. Like, even fries, like, not my thing.
So funny because I feel like so many of our athletes that we work with say that sweet potatoes are their favorite carbohydrate. And every single time I read that, I'm like, I would much rather have a bowl of pasta.
So many people right now in our period recovery program are so grumpy at us because, like you just said, they love potatoes and sweet potatoes. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I used to eat sweet potatoes a lot, and I don't know if I just overdid it. I think kind of going back to the conversation about ground turkey. I just maybe overdid it. They also used to be like, I mean, potatoes are relatively cost efficient. When I was in the dietetic internship and I had $30 a week for groceries, like, I was definitely eating sweet potatoes. So I don't know if I'm just like sick of them, but I'm sure there'll be like a sweet potato casserole maybe or something like that too. It's just not my thing.
If you were to have the option for a sweet potato casserole, would you want it to be savory or sweet?
I feel like I don't love sweet things unless it's like dessert. And maybe I'm just so traumatized by like all the gels I consumed in the marathon and like my carb load, but like I'm like taking a break right now of sweet things. Like I still eat dessert, but like I feel like I need like a savory meal and then like a sweet dessert. Like I eat dessert every night, but I just feel like I need them to be separate. And I'm just weird like that. I don't know. It's my personal preference.
I mean, like I've shared before, I'm like not the biggest fan of sweet potatoes. Given the option of like a sweet potato casserole or like savory sweet potato casserole, like I would pick savory every time.
What goes into a savory sweet potato casserole? Because I feel like I only see sweet ones.
My sister has a great one that she makes with like cheddar cheese, bacon, and like onion. And it's really good. Obviously, like you still get some sweet undertones because the sweet potato is, well, sweet, but it's not like the brown sugar marshmallow pecan situation that I'm like, I don't understand how people like, for me, that just doesn't, I'm leaving that. I'm skipping right over that.
I think this goes back to though, like everybody has different preferences, right? Like everybody has a different fueling like plan that they enjoy. And like, that's why like, one of the things that we're always asking our athletes is like, what's your favorite food? And like, how can we incorporate that into it? Because every single person is different. And that doesn't mean like a sweet potato casserole, like it doesn't taste good, but like it just maybe just not my thing.
And we're back to life's too short to eat food we don't like.
Yes. But don't be like, I'm not eating that. Like, right. Like, don't be mean about it. You just, you have to, like, again, life's too short.
Exactly. From all of us here at RBSN, happy Thanksgiving. We hope that you are enjoying your favorite dishes on Thanksgiving today, even if that doesn't look like traditional Thanksgiving foods. If you do have questions for Reilly and I about fueling, Thanksgiving fueling, running, period recovery, or just nutrition in general, please leave them in the comments below or reach out to us online. You can find Reilly on Instagram at easy.sports.nutrition, and you can find me at jenna.fisher.nutrition. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Eat More Carbs podcast. Please make sure you rate, subscribe, and review. And as always, remember to eat more carbs.